Hi boys and girls, I'm going to read a story to you today. It's called Moonbear Shadow. It's by Frank Asch. And I have a bunch of lamps on in my room and it's kind of making the book have a glare. So I'm going to move the book around and try really hard so that you can see the shadow. So the book might move around more than it normally would. So can you see Bear's shadow? There it is, running just like him. One day, Bear went down to the pond with his fishing pole and a big can of worms. While I was putting a worm on his hook, he looked down and saw a big fish. I'm going to catch that fish, thought Bear to himself. Do you see the fish in the pond? But when Bear stood up to throw his line in the water, his shadow scared the big fish away. Go away, Shadow, cried Bear. But Bear's shadow would not go away. See the shadow and the fish swimming away? Okay, said Bear, if you won't go away on your own, then I'll just have to get rid of you. And he put down his fishing pole and began to run. He ran around the pond. When he got to the other side, he kept on running. There's a shadow. It didn't leave him. It's even up there on the hill with him. Bear ran through a field of flowers, jumped over the brook, and hid behind a tree. Oh, good, thought Bear. Now Shadow can't find me. So that's kind of a new word, brook. So there Bear is. He's jumping over the brook, and you can see a shadow in it. A brook is just a small stream, so it's just water. And there's Bear behind the tree. Do you think his shadow's going to be there when he steps out? Or do you think it will have left him? But Bear was wrong. When he stepped out from behind the tree, the first thing he saw was Shadow. Oh my goodness, there's a shadow. And look where else has a shadow. The tree. Nearby was a cliff. Bear walked over to the cliff and looked up. I'll climb so high, Shadow won't be able to follow me, thought Bear. Maybe you're not sure what a cliff is either. So a cliff is just like the edge of a rock. And it's high up, and sometimes they're dangerous. So let's see if Bear's is dangerous. So there's the cliff right there. Bear climbed higher and higher until he pulled himself up at the top. Huffing and puffing, he smiled with pride. Then he looked down and he saw Shadow. And we know what proud means. It means you're really happy for yourself that you did something wonderful. Like maybe you learned how to ride your bike and it makes you feel good inside. And maybe your parents say they're proud of you. So Bear climbed and he was proud of himself. Now Bear was very annoyed. So he went home and got a hammer and some nails to nail his shadow to the ground. Uh-oh, do you think that's going to work? I don't know. He hammered and hammered and hammered, but no matter how many nails he hammered, he couldn't nail his shadow down. Look at that. It looks just like him. You can even see his hammer. And look, his can of nails has a shadow, and so does his house. Everything has a shadow. And I just heard another word there that maybe is a vocabulary word, annoyed. Annoyed means, remember, kind of that something's bothering you. Sometimes brothers and sisters annoy us. They bug us or they bother us. If I can't nail him down, thought Bear, maybe I can bury him. So he got his shovel and dug a hole. When the hole was deep and wide, he let his shadow fall in the hole. Do you see it? There it is in the hole. The shovel has a shadow. Is that going to work? Do you think his shadow will stay in the hole? Then Bear filled the hole with dirt. When he was finished, it was almost noon. The sun was high in the sky, and Shadow was nowhere to be seen. At last, sighed Bear. No more shadow. Is it buried in the hole? I don't know. But now Bear was very tired, so he went inside and took a little nap. While he slept, time passed, and the sun, once again, cast shadows everywhere. They're small, and they're getting bigger and bigger. I'm going to move it close so you can see. When Bear got up and opened his door, he saw his shadow on the floor. "Not you again!" exclaimed Bear, and he slammed the door, hoping to lock Shadow inside. But Shadow was too quick. Where's the shadow now? On the door. How about this, said Bear. If you let me catch a fish, I'll let you catch one too. Nod your head like this, if it's a deal. And when Bear nodded his head, Shadow nodded too. So Bear went back to the pond and once again threw his line in the water. By this time, the sun was in a different part of the sky, which made it easy for Shadow to keep his part of the deal. Look where the shadow is now. It's not over the water, it's in the grass, next to Bear, and instead of in front of him. And when Bear caught that big fish, Shadow caught one too. Can you see it? So, think about where the sun was. Miss Stereocheck needs a haircut. Think about where the sun was and why his shadow was in the way when he was fishing the first time. And then all the shadows went away. So maybe you could go outside in the morning and find your shadow, and then go outside at lunchtime and see if you can find your shadow, and then a little bit later and see if you can find your shadow and see if it's different. Maybe it's big, maybe it's little. Keep looking for your shadow, and I will see you soon.